Welcome to today's explainer. Right now, we're tearing down the mental walls surrounding our biggest ambitions and literally redefining the whole concept of impossible. You know that suffocating feeling you've got this massive ambition, a deep desire, or some grand vision, but you feel completely paralyzed because it just seems permanently blocked? If you've ever felt like your ultimate goals are entirely out of reach, like the concrete has already dried on your life's trajectory, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to dive deep into the anatomy of big achievements, dissect exactly why certain things feel insurmountable, and map out how you can start moving toward them today. So think about a goal right now that feels just completely impossible. Seriously, picture a personal ambition that makes your stomach drop just a little bit when you even consider it. Maybe it's a massive career pivot, like trying to change industries at 40 years old when society tells you it's way too late. Or maybe it's a life-changing financial milestone, like finally paying off that mountain of suffocating debt. Or hey, maybe it's a creative project, like writing a novel when you have absolutely zero free time. Whatever it is, it just feels entirely out of reach. Get a clear, visceral picture of it right now. Hold that thought in your mind as we go through this, because we're going to unpack exactly how to approach it and dismantle the illusion keeping you stuck. Section 1, the impossible moon. Okay, let's dive into this by looking back at humanity's ultimate impossible achievement to see how monumental shifts in reality actually happen. Back in the early 1960s, the idea of sending a human being to the moon didn't just sound hard. It sounded like pure, unadulterated science fiction. It was genuinely an impossible dream. Honestly, many of the world's top experts at the time believed it simply couldn't be done. And to be fair, they had good reason. The math wasn't mapped out. The heat-resistant metals required for a capsule to survive re-entry into Earth's atmosphere literally hadn't been invented yet. Modern computing was barely a thing. Computers were the size of entire rooms, and scientists somehow needed to shrink that processing power down to fit inside a tiny metal module. No way, right? But then, a bold, public goal was announced. A hard deadline was set. And that changed absolutely everything. That single, courageous vision forced a massive paradigm shift. It inspired thousands of people to take action. Instead of focusing on their immense, very real limitations, they shifted their entire collective focus to searching for solutions. The question changed from, can we do this, to how do we do this? And the result? By the late 1960s, just a few short years after it was deemed physically impossible, the whole world watched as the first humans stepped onto the surface of the moon. Section 2, where impossible actually lives. Now let's bring this a bit closer to home. Moving away from grand historical events, we need to look directly at the landscape of your own mindset. See, there's this massive fundamental contrast between where the concept of impossible starts and where tangible solutions actually happen. The concept of impossible rarely lives in the physical world of physics or nature. Nope, it takes root entirely within the architecture of our own minds. Long before an obstacle interacts with the physical world, it exists as a psychological construct. Our brains are incredibly efficient at keeping us safe, right? So they build these massive, intimidating walls in our heads, using our past traumas, cognitive biases, and assumptions as the mortar. We so often confuse something being unprecedented in my own life with something being impossible in reality. But reality is a completely separate domain. Reality is where the actual solutions and tangible achievements happen, but they can only materialize once we break past that initial psychological barrier. The impossible doesn't live in the real world. It lives in our heads. And this psychological barrier directly applies to the challenges you're facing right now. Whether you're dealing with a depleted bank account today, the deep, lingering sting of a past failure, or just a profound dissatisfaction with your current path in life, these are transient conditions. They are not permanent physical laws. If you're struggling financially today, you can absolutely learn new skills, pivot your value, and become successful. If you failed before, and frankly, every successful person in history has, you can extract the data from that failure and rise again. If you're deeply unhappy with your current direction, you have the absolute power to change it. These common setbacks, as heavy and overwhelmingly permanent as they might feel in the moment, are not your definitive reality. They're just current conditions. And overcoming them, it's entirely possible. But everything begins with one foundational requirement: believing that change is possible. I literally cannot emphasize this enough. This foundational shift in your belief is the absolute non-negotiable prerequisite for any real-world transformation. Think of it like the physics of pushing against a wall. Imagine standing in front of a massive 10-foot-tall brick wall. If you're absolutely certain that wall is solid concrete, you're never going to lean your shoulder into it. You wouldn't even try. But if you truly believe that wall is just a Hollywood prop made of styrofoam, you'll push right through it. Belief changes how you interact with the obstacle. Until you fundamentally accept that the wall in front of you has the capacity to move, you'll never apply the pressure needed to topple it. It really all starts with belief. Section 3. Facing your deepest fears. So, if belief is the catalyst for achieving the impossible, we have to figure out what the main obstacle is that actively blocks that belief. And that obstacle, it's the deep-seated fears that we actively try to avoid. The success philosopher Jim Rohn often said that one of the most important steps toward achieving your dreams is facing your fears. It's such an elegantly simple quote, but brilliantly illustrates how difficult it is to put into practice. Fear is the primary barrier to our success, and its greatest trick is masquerading as logic. Fear builds the illusion of the impossible by convincing you that it's just being practical. You might tell yourself, "I'm not scared to start a business, I'm just being realistic about the economy." Or, "I'm not scared to write a book, I just don't have the time right now." You know the drill. That is fear wearing a mask of rationality, keeping you safely locked inside your comfort zone. So I want you to ask yourself a really difficult, very honest question right now. What am I truly afraid of? Take a deliberate moment here. Really let the weight of that question sink in. Strip away the excuses and the quote-unquote practical reasons, and look at the core emotion. Let's break down the most common culprits that might be holding you back. Is it the fear of failure? We so often treat failure like it's fatal, when in reality, it's simply data collection. It's just learning what doesn't work. Or is it the fear of the opinions of others? Man, this is a massive one. The paralyzing fear of judgment, the terrifying thought of friends, family, or strangers laughing at us if we try and fall short. Or is it simply the sheer daily exhausting discomfort of stepping outside your comfort zone? Well, here's the psychological reality about these fears. As long as we run from them, they continue to grow in the shadows of our minds. They get bigger, scarier, and way more dominant. But the very second we turn around and shine a flashlight on them, the dynamic completely changes. In psychology, this is known as exposure. When you stare down a fear and acknowledge it, your brain's amygdala literally begins to downregulate. It stops overreacting. You strip away their control just by looking at them and realizing the monster is really just a shadow on the wall. Section 4. The power of one step. All right, this is where we take all of this psychological theory and turn it into urgent, actionable momentum for your life. This journey follows a really clear, linear path that builds upon itself. Step 1. Believe change is possible. We establish that as your absolute foundation. You have to know the wall can be moved. Step 2. Face your fears. Take away their power by calling them out into the light, recognizing that failure is just data and other people's opinions don't dictate your reality. And finally, step 3. Take one small step today. This is absolutely crucial. It doesn't have to be a giant leap for mankind. In fact, it shouldn't be. Action is about microscopic, intentional momentum. If your impossible goal is writing a novel, your small step isn't writing a whole chapter today. It's opening a document and writing one single terrible sentence. If your goal is financial freedom, it's transferring $10 into a savings account right now. If it's starting a business, it's sketching a basic wireframe on a napkin. Just one small, intentional step toward that goal you pictured at the beginning of today's explainer. Because that single, tiny, seemingly insignificant step might just be the absolute beginning of a lifelong transformation that changes your reality forever. So, I leave you with this final, lingering thought. What will your one small step be today? Don't wait for tomorrow. The perfect moment is a total illusion. Figure out what that tiny, actionable step is right now and take it. If you found today's explainer helpful and you want to keep redefining what's possible in your own life, make sure to like and follow the channel for more inspiring insights that'll help you move one step closer to success every single day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.